afternoon, good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in. Welcome to Ticket Price, the only show on the internet that asks the question that matters: are these movies worth the ticket price? In other words, are they worth your time and money? Thank you for tuning in to another special episode of Ticket Price known as Sara and Sly, which can only mean two things. That, one, Ticket Price is business as usual. I'm your host and voice. My name is Jake. Sitting across the way, co-host extraordinaire, and the only man who decided we're not doing the camera on this one, even though I put my booby dancing shirt on, and now I can't booby dance for the camera, Tevis at Master Control. Tevis, how are you, sir?
YouTube would flag us, so.
Freaking YouTube. We didn't have these problems back when we were low budget.
We're still low budget.
Lower budget. But it also means a second thing. Sitting in the guest chair, noted female. Sara, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
Bring the show down, Jesus. That's my job.
Should we do another take?
So sorry.
And excited to be here, sitting in the guest chair, noted woman, Sara.
Jacob, how are you? Zing.
You're popping the mic. Only I do that.
Jesus Christ.
I would like to apologize to our headphone listeners. That was Sara.
Yeah, I have a new microphone and I'm used to like hunching over, but now I'm standing up
Just
straight.
speak normally.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to speak up because I can't fucking hear shit now. It's the left ear. She blew out my left ear.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
Huh? All right. Sara,
I don't like this gimpy ass mic.
well, then give it back to Sara so she'll talk.
Yeah, we can switch.
No, it's fine. I'll just hold this like a rock star.
Yeah, Chris Jericho. Why
Hell
don't
yeah.
you calm down. When are you going to get shirtless and start harassing hotel employees and doing muscle poses in front of cops?
Nobody wants to see me topless, and I don't go to hotels.
Well,
so
they can't because you didn't turn the camera on.
that is true.
We're going backwards. Sara and Sly. Episode 8. We are looking at 1982's First Blood.
Yeah, we are. Hell yeah.
Woo! Woo!
Swing.
Can we actually get an air horn?
No, I'm already deaf in the left ear. I don't need to be going out in the right ear. Shit.
Stop coming up with ways to blow the microphone, Sara.
It's what the young people want.
I don't think anybody wants that. I think that's false. Oh, Sara.
What?
She's officially reached that point in her life where she thinks she's still young and cool.
Hey.
She has not realized that she's out of touch.
I'm hip.
No one still does the random, Doritos 420, 360, no
Well,
smoke.
Tevis obviously does.
Yes, because Tevis is the epitome of trendy and hip.
Hell yeah, fam.
I mean, he's wearing a Gravity Falls hat. That counts for something.
Yeah, 10 years ago when that show was relevant.
It's still relevant. How dare you?
Yeah, so SpongeBob. Brr. I got some old orange Nickelodeon VHSs of the Rugrats if you're interested.
Oh man, that slaps.
Are you Delulu?
Oh my God. You did not just say Delulu.
Delulu.
Oh my gosh.
Surrounded by children. You know, when you texted that to our group, I was filled with shame and disappointment.
Secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah. It also took me, I went Delulu. Oh, like I didn't get it at first, and then
Come on.
I got it. And Sara,
I work with college kids. It
I
rubs
know,
off.
but how do I put this? You're old enough that you shouldn't be assimilating their culture. It comes off as sad.
No, it does not.
Yes, it. Okay.
I think you're projecting.
No, okay, you're 21, you go out to the bar and you party all night. That's fun. When you're Tevis and I and you go out to the bar and you party all night, it's sad. and you go, oh, those poor guys.
Yeah, and you're in bed the whole day trying to recover.
The whole 2 days.
Yeah, your weekend is shot, and you went out on a Thursday.
It's true. Sarah, you're getting old.
I'm not that old.
You're getting old. I suggest you just lean into it. Just
Should I talk in
lean.
my grandma voice this whole time? Or something?
Just don't say Delulu. We'll be fine.
You aren't already?
What does that make you, dinosaur?
Zing.
Yeah, I remember when I was yelling at those goddamn primordial fish to get off my lawn. Go back to the ocean. I didn't ask you to evolve. You can't make old jokes at my expense. I'll make them worse. I am the oldest person you have ever met.
What does that make Tepis?
Hey, watch your damn mouth.
What was like when the Big Bang occurred? Was that pretty cool or?
You know, I invented the wheel, goddammit. This is the things I get.
You put some respect on his wheel creating name. Can I get back to this, please? Speaking of old,
Wouldn't have fire if it wasn't for my ass.
it's true. He was bent down foraging for berries when a bolt of lightning struck him in the crack of his ass, set all of his rear hair on fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was Delulu for the rest of the day.
It's great, cray cray. Oh, God. Can I get back to this, please?
Yeah,
please.
what are we doing?
Oh, what are we doing today?
1982's First Blood, written by Michael Cazole, William Sackheim, and Sylvester Stallone. Did you level up in Final Fantasy? Bum, 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 bum. No,
Now I'm going to have to edit that out because it's copyrighted.
Oh.
it's fine. No, I did it with my mouth and it's off key. It's totally fine. If Vanilla Ice can get away with that bass line, we're fine.
No, because he explained it. It's
I've listened to his explanation.
no. This goes bum 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 bum, and mine goes bum 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 bum. So it's totally different.
It's a major difference.
It's totally
It's a
different.
major difference.
Okay. 2 red flags. 3 writers and a writer / other person heavily involved in other aspects of this movie.
Okay, well, who's the writers you said?
Michael Cazole, William Sackheim, Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, they didn't give writing credit to the author of the book.
Well,
There's a book?
they did, but it's separate. The screenplay is Michael Cazole, William Sackheim, Sylvester Stallone, based off the novel by David Morrell.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
no, this had 3 writers. Like
Okay.
this legitimately had 3 writers. One of them was Sylvester Stallone.
And you know what? I'm not mad at that because I know what he contributed to it. So, and we'll talk about it when we get there.
Good. You can fill me in. Now, this is directed by Ted Kotcheff.
Ted Kotcheff. Do you know what he directed?
First Blood.
And
First Blood Part
Second
2.
Blood.
North Dallas 40.
I don't know what that is.
That's a football movie from the 70s.
Okay.
And Weekend at Birdie's.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Classic.
There's a movie we need to do sometime.
Classic.
Is Weekend at Bernie's.
Hell yeah.
That might be one of the only college age comedies from that era we can do because it isn't overtly ick.
Yeah, that's true.
Is Animal House okay?
Animal House is not even okay for a movie. So
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, but like, no, I'm talking about overly problematic factors.
Oh yeah.
honestly, I don't know. It's been so long since I've even seen that, and I watched it once, and
I don't really remember Porky's all that much.
I had to watch
That's-
that movie for a class.
Porky's.
No.
Animal House?
Animal House.
John Belushi?
And what'd you think? Were you a fan?
No.
Yeah, me either. No, and Porky's is a little ick.
I mean, isn't the cover of that movie a
Peephole,
shower peephole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and one of the guys sticks his wang in there.
Oh.
Oh,
to
so
scare the girls.
they upgraded it to glory hole.
Yeah, but then it's the girls' basketball coach, I think, comes in and sees it and then grabs it and holds it, and the guy can't get away. Yeah,
Oh my
it's.
gosh.
I hate it when that happens.
I mean, don't we all?
So you're saying no to that? Yep, that sounds like a no. And then there's the movie that we don't talk about.
Yeah,
All like 5 of them.
I don't know.
There's a shocking number of.
I've only watched 2 of them.
Aren't there legitimately like 4 Revenge of the Nerds?
I think there is.
We don't talk about them though. It's not. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that one's real ick.
That was a real bad.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
Well, it's either the opening or damn close to the opening where our titular nerds that we are rooting for bug the sorority house with cameras in bedrooms and bathrooms and showers.
Absolutely
And throughout the movie routinely creep on them.
Gross.
For sexual purposes.
yeah, and that's not even the worst part either.
No, but that's the part that I'm gonna. Can we just agree the '80s was a terrible time?
A lot of cocaine.
Yeah,
Cocaine and bad ideas.
But see, it worked.
Some great ideas.
It worked in wrestling, not so much in movies.
Maybe.
Maybe.
The cocaine?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know what?
Ultimate Warrior. We got Ultimate Warrior.
No, Ultimate Warrior was 90s.
Is this a wrestling podcast or is this a movie podcast?
He was the late 80s.
Not when he became Ultimate Warrior. He started when he won the title. It was like 91.
There is no way in.
I have nothing to offer here.
Oh wait, he's looking it up, folks. Like I don't know.
Wrestled in World Wrestling Federation from 87 to 92.
Yeah.
So late 80s.
When did he win the title? He's looking it up, folks. I'm glad we can just edit all this out.
90.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't there once upon a time we were going to trim the fat?
You weren't here for that.
I wasn't here for that. Okay.
This is all fat.
Trim it when you edit. That's why we edit. We're not live to tape. We're live to a post-production. All right, starring First Blood, Sylvester Stallone, Tiffus. Edit us back in.
Okay.
Now.
Go.
All right, starring Sylvester Stallone, Richard Crenna, and Brian Dennehy.
Brian Dennehy. You know who Brian Dennehy is.
The best actor in this movie.
He's a really good actor.
Yeah, I know.
It was Tommy Boy's dad.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
He's been in a bunch of stuff.
He has. Richard Crenna's pretty good too, though.
He's fine.
I like Richard Crenna.
I don't dislike Richard Crenna, but he's fine. Totally fine. You don't know who Richard Crenna is.
I have no idea.
He's the Colonel.
Oh,
He's the one with the cool hat.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
a beret.
Cool hat.
The cool hat.
It's a beret.
It's definitely a cool hat.
One might say a green beret.
Whoa.
Symbolism. All right. Budget. Budget made with an estimated $15 million.
Okay.
Is that high or low?
In 82? That seems high, and especially for what this movie is, seems a little high.
Yeah,
most of it had to have been in the final act.
Yeah, because the majority of it's just him running around the woods and
there's Stallone in woods.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Action.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. What did it gross?
Worldwide gross of $125.2 million.
Wow.
So it made enough to spawn a franchise.
Yeah. What's with that face?
Well, people would know if the camera was on. I don't know if that's a good thing, though. The franchise spawning. Sometimes one is enough. we can just do one and done.
It's been a while since I've watched 2. 3 is complete shit. The 4th one is actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
The 5th one, I was done within 15 minutes.
Oh.
I finished Rambo 3. I did not finish Rambo 4. Or 5, rather. Sorry. It's called Last Blood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say that, we'll just get into it. So, awards, 1 win, 4 nominations on top of that. Nothing huge or major. My history with Rambo, First Blood. This is before Stallone got overly involved in the franchise process and made them change the name. Because originally it was going to be more,
First Blood.
but then he was like, no, it should be named after the main character, like Rocky. Because he's a giant prima donna and needed to be the titular character.
Well, he is the main character, though.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he needs to be the titular character. There doesn't always need to be a titular character.
Why do you keep on saying titular?
Not every film needs to have a titular name.
Why do you keep on saying titular?
Because no one uses that word enough, you dullards.
Sorry. My titular is itching.
Well, our camera's not on and I can't do my titular dancing. For the children in the audience who are like, he's a titular. Or the children in the studio.
Don't look at me.
Am I young or am I old? Come on.
Sass me. I've actually seen First Blood. Watching it for the show was probably my 3rd time watching it. I have watched it all the way through, all 3 times. And this is the only Rambo movie I have watched all the way through.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
I have never gone out of my way to watch a Sylvester Stallone movie for that. I mean, but if we put more of a fine point on it, any of the Rambo movies, and I know I've seen, like I said, I've seen one a few times. Whether I think it was on VHS at one point, I saw it on TV once, and now for this, I watched it all the way through. I know I've seen bits and pieces of 2 and 3, though I could not tell them apart. And it's just mindless action in a jungle, and that's as far as any of that goes. And I went, oh.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tevis, what is your history with First Blood?
I watched this all the time when I was a kid. It seemed like it was always on TV. And then, they did the sequel, and there was even a cartoon.
I was going to say, wasn't there a children's cartoon?
There was?
Yeah.
Oh,
this was the
my.
era that they're like, oh, we have this super bloody action movie. Hell yeah, let's get toys out there and market it to kids.
Turn
and we'll
it
have
into
a
a
cartoon.
RoboCop. RoboCop was one.
yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice was a cartoon. Alien had toys.
Well, yeah.
But it was a weird time where they're like, oh yeah, let's market this super gross movie to kids. And I'm the one going, hell yeah, let's do it. So
They knew their audience.
Yeah.
They knew the audience.
But no, every time this come on HBO or whatever, I was all about it.
You see, Sarah, it's important to remember, Tevis is talking about the 80s.
Yeah.
This was an era where fathers would get violently angry. Excuse me, they would get domestically violently angry if their son, say, picked up a baby doll or a Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
But if that Barbie looked like Sylvester Stallone with a big knife, it suddenly became okay. And they completely ignored the latent homoerotic
like the muscles and
projections
the
these toys had.
pectorals.
His rippling titulars.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
They would openly yell horrendous expletives at their male sons, as opposed to their female sons, at their male sons for looking at quote unquote girl toys.
Uh-huh.
So toy companies had to come up with something.
They had to scale it down because G.I. Joe, when he first came out, was about the same size as Barbie.
Well, it's because it was literally a Ken doll with a rifle,
With
I
a
was-
rifle and a beard.
with an M1 Garand.
I was gonna ask, where does Ken fit into this? Like, if
Oh, yeah, no. Ken.
So we've made Barbie.
yeah,
Well, Barbie needs a husband or boyfriend or however.
something.
So now we have
Situationship.
Ken.
mm-hmm.
Well, boys aren't buying Ken. The girls are. But we need to get into the boy audience. Got it. We put him in a World War I uniform and give him a rifle. Now he's not a doll. He's an action figure.
Ah,
I'm
No, I
dropping
know.
hot facts on you, Sarah.
yeah, I know.
And boom, now we got into the male audience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
So you know what? Bring on the homoerotic action toys. Are you all right?
Are you okay?
He's having chest palpitations thinking about his homoerotic toys.
I was thinking of the beatings my dad gave me for playing with Ken.
Just kidding.
He beat me with Barbie dolls.
Those little high heels hurt.
I do.
My Barbie dolls didn't wear shoes because I was too lazy to put them on.
Because they were just barefoot and pregnant.
Yeah.
Is
Like
that
they
what
were
it was?
like they were
Like they were
supposed to be.
supposed to be like a good 80s wife.
Because I did do that. Yeah, I would ball up extra clothes and stuff it under her shirt.
Yeah.
She was like pregnant.
Did she work a lot at your Easy Bake Oven?
I didn't use my Easy Bake Oven, but
When did Skipper come popping out? Was it Skipper? Was that the name of the doll?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
But then they changed her name to Kelly. She was Skipper, and then she was changed to Kelly.
Probably because Skipper should be the name of a dog, not a child.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it was. Skipper.
Mm-hmm.
Skipper Roberts.
She had
She had a full fucking name.
Wait, does that mean her
It
name is
was-
Barbie Roberts
I don't know.
and Ken Roberts? I've never known this last name thing.
Barbie's full name is supposed to be Barbara.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
Barbie's last name is Roberts. Holy shit.
They were a family. See,
Her full name is Barbara Millicent Roberts.
I didn't know she had a last name.
Millicent.
Oh my
Millicent.
gosh,
Holy shit.
we're dropping some hot Barbie lore here.
In the middle of our Rambo review. Which really, I mean, there is no better time for it.
I don't know what to say. Millicent?
Millicent.
I guess.
Tell me.
Did Skipper have a middle
Tell
name?
me tell me Barbie was made in the 50s without telling me she was made in the 50s. Well, her middle name is Millicent.
Ah,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, don't
Well,
like that.
also the nickname Barbie. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, Ken. His name is Kenneth Sean or Scene, whatever you want to call him. Carson is his last name.
Wait.
They're not married?
Hold on.
Oh my
Hold
God,
on,
that's
hold on.
scandal.
So Barbie's last name is Roberts, and Skipper's last name is Roberts.
Sister, little sister.
Little
Younger
sister?
sister.
Younger sister.
Obviously, because they wouldn't.
Thought it was her daughter.
There were no oopsies in
Thought
the
it was her
Barbie
daughter.
timeline.
I always
There
thought
were-
that Skipper was her
There
daughter.
were no. I have it on good authority that Ken biologically could not get he and Barbie in trouble. I have irrefutable evidence.
He could never get his underwear off. They were just like always there.
Like they were painted on.
Yeah.
Those were later models. Trust me, you could get Ken's underwear off.
Whoa. What
What?
were you doing with your Kindles?
Very little. Like Barbie was.
Should I discuss my history with the First Blood, or
Actually, I want to know the first time you took Ken's pants off.
I actually don't know. He wasn't very well dressed most of the time.
Oh, he
Because
was.
he was like a side character for me.
He was Trailer Park Ken.
Yeah, he had like
slumming it in his girlfriend's beach house.
he had like one suit and nothing else. So if I didn't want him in a suit, he would just be in underwear.
Hmm.
And then I got more Ken dolls, and then they could swap clothes. But I only had one Ken doll for like years before I got another one.
Riveting.
I'm sure this is all very interesting.
Tune in next week on Toy Talk. All right, Sarah, what is your history with the reason we're here, the reason for the season, First Blood?
Is your house falling down?
No, kid.
Oh, okay.
She's about to come through the floor / ceiling. Chevy Chase.
She's gonna fall through it like Mick Foley. The hell in the cell.
God is my witness. He is broken in half.
Kid, why do you have a tooth in your nose?
That's it. He's dead.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, I was trying to speak, but
It's her fault up there. I didn't do it.
so I of course had heard of First Blood, and I had seen the DVD, but I had never actually ever watched the movie. So this was my first viewing of it, but I had heard about it, and I'm pretty sure my dad watched it at some point.
Oh,
I
of course he has.
guarantee your father has seen
Yeah.
First Blood. No, like
yeah. No, I know.
It was
Yeah.
a requirement in my elementary school.
all of the male sons.
Yeah.
to
honestly,
watch.
it was one of the first things the doctors had me do when I was getting my fertility treatments is I had to watch First Blood.
Gotta get your testosterone up, man. Yeah, in elementary school they split us up. Boys went and watched First Blood, and the girls went off and did home ec. Just how it was.
Mac.
That's how it was in the 80s.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, I had never seen this movie. But I know about it because it's pretty popular.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
It has its place in cinema history.
yes.
There's a legacy there,
Mm-hmm.
as heavily tarnished as it may be now.
What, the First Blood movie? Or Rambo?
The legacy,
Oh,
yeah.
of Rambo himself.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
You could see that. You couldn't even sit through the last two movies, and then the last one you did sit through, you quote unquote, it was shit.
No, the 4 was good. 5 was shit. 3 was shit.
You said you didn't sit through 4.
No, I did sit through 4. Yeah.
But not 5.
No. 5
Right.
5 I quit about 15 minutes in. 4 is good. I like 4.
But third was crap, but he was able to sit through that one.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, then. Are we ready to start?
Let's
We
do this.
are.
Good,
Also-
great, googly moogly.
I want to preface this by saying,
Oh my God.
just let me add something, okay? Terrence watched this with me. So at the beginning, you know how there's this like really
Terrence being your husband.
yes,
Yeah.
Terrence being my husband. This really acoustic guitar music in the background while they're playing the credits.
Because it's a Stallone movie, they have to.
right.
Just like it has to end with a ballad.
I wasn't even saying anything. Terrence wasn't saying anything, and then all of a sudden he just goes, Alejandro is playing it. And I was like, what? And he says, Alejandro is playing the guitar. It's like, who?
Who's Alejandro?
I don't know who Alejandro is, but Alejandro is playing the electric guitar, acoustic guitar.
Did he not explain it?
He did not.
Did you ask him?
I was just laughing.
Thank you for this wonderful addition. This content is solid gold.
It was funny. Okay, you know what?
It has no context. You have no idea what he could have just said gobbledygook. It wouldn't have, you still would
Well,
have
he
laughed.
didn't say gobbledygook. He said Alejandro is playing it.
Hilarious.
That seems racist.
I get it.
I don't know
now.
how, but it seems racist.
I will not be wasting my time looking that up. So anyone in the comments, feel free to explain what that might mean, because I don't care.
All right.
No, please continue.
No, that was that. I thought that was funny, so I thought I would share. But I feel unappreciated.
Maybe we should come up with a way to screen these thoughts. Like if we could come
Like
up
I
with
should write it on the whiteboard before I say something.
yeah, so we could like vet out the good and the
We'll give the thumbs up or the thumbs down.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like
okay though.
Gladiator.
Alejandro's playing. So we see John Rambo happily walking. And he's trying to visit his friend Delmar.
Yes, he looks really good in this opening scene.
Stallone or Delmar?
Stallone.
Oh, okay. Because Delmar's dead
Yes,
Of
but
cancer.
of cancer.
right.
From the Agent Orange.
In Nam.
I followed the story. Believe it or not, I was able to watch, listen, and comprehend.
You never know.
But
You-
I thought his outfit looked really good in this opening, and like he's got scruff, and I just
Oh, yeah. He looks really cool in this.
and yeah, he looks super super good in this opening.
Sure.
He's still mad about Alejandro.
Yeah, he is.
What does it mean?
It means that Alejandro is playing the acoustic guitar.
That's not funny.
He's serenading John Rambo.
Who is?
Alejandro,
Who is that?
the guy who's playing the acoustic guitar.
Is this some shitty
My foot's asleep so bad I can't even move.
Gen Alpha thing I don't understand? Is that the problem? Am I too old to get this? Is that the new name they've given for that douchey guy on every college campus trying to serenade the girls? In my day, we just called him Vincent or Terrence
Why?
Oh.
Why Vincent?
because you know that asshat's name was Vincent. And you couldn't call him Vince.
Why do
He
you
was
have
Vincent.
against a Vincent?
Or a Benjamin. Or a Vincent or a
Benjamin.
Terrence.
I like the Benjamin.
Sorry to all of Vincents and Benjamins out there.
Shove your guitars right up your rectums. I don't care. I apologize. Don't. Sarah does not apologize on my behalf.
Anyway,
John Rambo learns his good buddy Delmar is super dead.
well,
He got the nom cancer from the Agent Orange.
That's the worst kind.
Actually, from what I hear, the Agent Orange cancer was
Yeah.
yeah. It took him a while to. What is that? His wife he's talking to?
Delmar's old wife. Yeah,
Yeah,
his ex-wife or
His ex-wife.
his
or-
widow.
Widow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tevis, you know the marriage terminology better than most.
Yes, I do. What would you like to know?
What's the correct terminology for Mrs. Delmar? Ms. Delmar?
Sure.
That sounded confident.
I'm dripping with confidence.
But the first time he asked,
Do you need to use the restroom?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Oh, she says. Go ahead, Sarah.
well, the first time, John Rambo.
Interruptions. She takes it so personally.
I just don't like
Go ahead.
interruptions. If you do this to me again, I'm going to crash out.
What the fuck did you just say to me? You know how
Oh, my God.
you know how
There
pathetic
it
you
is.
sound right now? You know the last time I heard crash out? At my father-in-law's birthday party from my 14-year-old niece. She told me about how she crashed out on some kids at school. To which I looked at her and I said, what the fuck did you just say to me?
Was she Delulu?
Apparently she got pretty delulu over some cheating at dodgeball and she crashed out.
Dodgeball is pretty serious.
Oh, my eyes
I
are
don't
burning.
even remember what I was talking about before.
Something about Delmar and his wife.
Oh,
Ex-wife. Widow wife.
Ms. Dumb. So the first time John asks her the question, she is like, he's not here right now, and like kind of is like trying to get him to go away. It kind of felt like, and I wondered why that might be, because it looks like
Well, she's probably not comfortable with some random white dude
that's true.
coming up on her property.
Tevis always has to bring race into it.
I
He
mean,
always has to
it's
bring
the
race
80s.
into it.
Come on. It is. So,
I mean, that's yeah. I guess I didn't take that into consideration, but
Don't worry, Tevis exclusively takes it into consideration.
like he's wearing his army jacket, and he's like, "I'm a friend of Del Mar's." I would just assume that she would be like, "Oh, did you know him from Nam?" But
yeah. And plus, who knows how long he's been dead? She's probably still
that's true.
trying to wrap her head around it.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years. Get over it.
Whoa.
What did you do to the janky mic? Did you make it worse? Quit playing with it. Now I sound like your parents.
You're going to go blind.
Hairy palms. Hairy palms. You'll
Yeah.
shoot your eye out, kid.
They lied to me about that. And they lied to me about if you wear boxers, it's going to end up hanging all the way to your knees. So you need to wear whitey tighties.
Wait, what?
Wait.
Yeah.
That's a new one to me.
You never heard that?
What in the
Yeah.
world?
You have to wear whitey tighties. So everything is nice and contained. Because if you wear boxers, it just hangs. And then it's going to end up hanging down to your knees. And
Isn't that a good thing?
that is a goddamn lie.
It
I was so offended.
What?
Where did you find out this revelation, Tevis?
Oh, about the time I went blind from playing with it too much.
He was blow drying his hair, Sarah.
That's why I have glasses.
His 8th grade year, the yearbook photo, he looks like Snake Plissken. That's a Kurt Russell character with an eye patch.
Okay.
Oh,
That was a
Alright.
hot joke.
Okay.
Tevis, hot joke?
is that what happened to Snake Plissken?
No, he's a man.
Oh, damn it.
Relax, cowboy. You think you measure up to Kurt Russell? Let's just calm down.
Hey, I have my hopes up. So
Your hopes shouldn't be that. Your hopes should never be Kurt Russell high.
that's true.
I hate to bring you back into the real world, but highest I'll give you Christian Slater,
Okay,
which is ironic because
he's
he's very short and has to stand on phone books to have proper sex with his girlfriend in a phone booth.
okay. I'll take Christian Slater.
You're the only one. But yes, we learn Delmar has passed away. Cancer ate him to the bone, as they say multiple times. So John does what John does, apparently, and just walks away.
Well, there's nothing else for him to do, really, because he was coming to visit his own last friend of his, what is it, regime?
Regime?
I don't, group?
Like his unit.
His unit.
He didn't
that he went blind playing with.
He didn't control a small South American country, Sarah. His regime. See, Castro rose to power by overthrowing the Rambo regime. Then we got the Castro regime, and then, we just waited for him to die.
Oh,
And now I could not tell you the political landscape of the Cuba.
ooh. Okay.
Serious question.
Alright.
John's homeless, right?
Yeah, he seems,
Oh, yeah.
he
Okay.
seems like a wanderer, and it's obvious he hasn't, like, showered in a few days, or...
You're getting. I just asked if he's homeless. You're getting real. It's obvious this piece of shit is dirty,
No,
and he hasn't bathed because he's an animal.
No,
Look at he's scrounging
no,
in the
it
garbage
just
for
looks
food.
like he's been traveling for a long time.
Well, he'll get a shower soon.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Welcome to Hope. The small town of Hope.
Yeah. And,
I love that.
And all he's doing is like walking through town.
Doesn't the sign
He's
say like
not even
all are
doing anything.
welcome or something?
Yeah.
It's real like
And he-
everyone has a great time in Hope.
He's just walking down. He's literally just walking down the street, minding his own business. When this cop is like, "What are you doing? Where are you going?"
He's going to give him a ride.
We meet the small town sheriff, and then the sheriff is immediately hostile to
For no
John.
reason.
They don't like vagrants in Hope.
Yeah, but he's wearing his army jacket, so it's like he's
That
a
makes it worse.
veteran.
Yeah, but he's a non-vet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In an immediately post-Nam world.
Yeah,
He would have gotten farther if he got rid of the jacket and just was a down on his luck drifter.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because the people of Hope, like the sheriff, definitely view him as a baby killer.
Yeah.
And how could you? And, even though was it most of the soldiers in Nam were conscripted, right?
I believe so.
So
Yeah.
how are we blaming them for fighting a war that they had no say? It's not like they went down and it's not like World War II where everyone was like, we have a clear bad guy. We need to save the world. And they went down and enlisted.
Yeah.
Most of these guys just got a letter in the mail that said your ass belongs to Uncle Sam.
Right.
But hey, to hell with them, apparently.
So, yeah.
See, yeah, you're looking at his veteran status with modern eyes.
That's true, I guess.
Not of the time of the story.
When did this is gonna I feel like I'm gonna date myself, but when did Nam happen? Do you know the year that it how long
was it? 60. Gosh, when was it? I'll look it up because I'm not 100% sure.
Woo! 55 to
Just-
75.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's a long time.
Now, granted, the U.S. was not involved that whole time.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of like if you look up, the dates of World War II. Well, America only cares about 1942 to 45, but it predates 42.
Yeah.
As much as Americans don't want to believe that. Now, okay, so Tevis, you would probably, or Sarah, you might, because you know what? I don't know if I caught it. What year does this First Blood actually take place in? I don't remember catching it.
I didn't catch it either, so I assumed it was whenever the movie it's like present day.
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah, it's 81.
81, so it's 6 years after then. After the
Okay.
end.
And he's still catching this kind of heat 6 years on?
I'm sure. I mean, with a sheriff like
I mean,
this guy being in the small town, and
small towns are
the worst,
resistant to change. So,
oh, they hate diversity. Got it. No, I'm picking up what you mean. I got it. Yeah. They hate diversity.
So he probably would have had better luck in a bigger
They're
city.
worried about their housing market. Got it.
Okay. So he gets a ride? ? I wouldn't have gotten in the car with the cop. Though.
He didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
But he was like, hey, can we just stop and get something to eat?
Yeah.
At like a diner? Yeah, there's a diner in the next town, 40 miles away. I'm not going to drive you to the next town. I'm going to drive you to the edge of Hope, and then you can walk the 40 miles.
Right.
It's just like, okay, and he's walking, and then wouldn't you know it, he just reached, Rambo just reaches a point where, no, he's done.
Yeah.
He's hungry, he's tired, and he's going to go get something to eat. And he turns around and walks back into Hope, to which the sheriff sees that, and he loses his mind.
Yeah.
And arrests John.
For no reason.
Vagrancy.
Is that illegal?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I think you can pretty much make it up to be anything you want.
Yeah, it seems kind of
This sheriff doesn't seem like he's very high on doing proper paperwork.
Mm.
you know?
Actually, you know what? If you want to know how the sheriff runs his station and his force, just look at how his deputies behave.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which we're about to.
Right. Yeah. There was only one of them that I liked, and it was the
ginger one
yeah,
who
the
couldn't
ginger
act.
one.
Yeah, you know who that is? David Caruso.
Oh, well, that explains a few things.
I was waiting for him to take his sunglasses off and then the music from the Who hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying he never really learned to act?
I
No,
mean,
not at all.
I think he did fine.
No, he didn't.
He did fine.
No,
he was
Richard
fine.
Crenna was fine. This kid was bad.
At least he was. I mean, he wasn't nice, but he wasn't overly
So,
violent.
no, he was the one good one.
Yeah,
Just not good at acting.
he was fine.
So Rambo is arrested. They're trying to fingerprint him. He's fighting that. They bring him down to the holding area where they give him a fire hose shower. Then they hold him down, and the barber comes in to force
To shave
a
him.
shave.
Yeah, because they want him to be clean before the judge,
So-
which
So now they have a
Yes.
nom-vet who was given a violent hose shower, who's been beaten and pushed and assaulted, and now you have two men restraining him while a third comes at him
with a
with
blade.
a straight razor and checks notes. PTSD fueled fight.
Yeah,
Yeah, that kicks
Yeah.
in. He gets some flashbacks of him getting tortured and
Tortured.
strung up. And
yeah.
and what was the name of that deputy?
I don't remember.
Caruso.
Art Galt.
Oh
is-
yeah,
is
Art.
Yeah, he was.
He's the one who was
really-
kind of leading the deputy
He's the
show.
he's like the chief deputy.
Yeah.
It's like they have obviously they don't have anything else to do, so they're bored and they're awful,
Angry,
angry.
Oh, they're American cops.
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
I grew up in St. Louis. I disliked cops before disliking cops was cool.
So, is this the part where he gets out and he runs into the woods, or is that?
Well, first we
later?
get our dirt bike dirt bike
that's
chase.
right.
So he steals a guy's dirt bike. Well, when I say steal, he Grand Theft Auto style hijacks this
I was
guy's
gonna
dirt bike.
say,
GTA mother.
He's like pushing aside pedestrians, and then he grabs a guy like basically while he's in motion and flings him off his dirt bike.
Yeah.
And then just
And then like you do in Grand Theft Auto,
Right,
and he
yeah.
stole that guy's dirt bike.
Hell yeah. I like this. I like this dirt bike chase.
You know what? This was pretty cool because you know what? The cop car was the stunt driver was just driving the balls off that car. The dirt bike scenes look cool. Yeah, it does
Yeah.
work
There's-
because it's practical.
There's something about 70s and early 80s car chases that I just love them.
It's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that at the point where like John goes across the rocks and into the woods, and then the cop car still chases him, I was like, "What are you doing?
Yeah, what's the plan here, Chief?
What's the plan here? You're gonna ruin your car."
Which he does.
He
He
rolls
rolls
it.
it.
He
Yeah.
rolls it. And I'm like, "What did you think
Was that a
going to
Crown Vic
happen?"
or was this pre-Crown Vic?
I think it was a Crown Vic. Or no, maybe not. I don't remember.
I don't know the history of the Crown Vic, but let's be honest. In history, is it the greatest police car? From a performance standpoint, probably not. But from like when you picture that iconic American cop car, you're picturing a Crown Vic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Evans is typing. He may just be updating his notes though. I don't know. Look at your grinder later. We're talking about Rambo.
Shush.
It
So-
just got shooshed.
You did just get shooshed, so maybe we should continue this conversation without Tevis.
So Rambo escapes into the woods where the chief gets his deputies and they get, whatever local farmer
Yeah.
and
what-
his bloodhounds. Oh no, they were Dobermans.
and they also get a helicopter
Yeah,
Yeah.
from the lumberyard.
from
That's
the
when
lumberyard.
that's where Art Galt is up there on the helicopter.
Shooting to kill.
Yes, he
Yeah,
is.
even though his orders are to
not do that.
not kill him, but he's mad because he got away.
He's mad because he got his nose broke, I think.
Oh.
Didn't
It wasn't him.
Oh, okay.
He did break somebody else's nose, and he actually, when they were filming the fight, he accidentally either elbowed him or kneed him or something, and literally broke the actor's nose.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm like, hey, you're in an action movie.
It happens.
It happens.
As long as they kept the incident in the final shot. You know what I mean? Like it makes the final cut.
Yeah, right.
Everyone knows the rule. If you have a take where someone gets hurt, it makes the final cut because it will be your best looking take.
Looks the best.
Yeah.
Although there was a Three Stooges short where that they weren't able to do that.
Why'd somebody die?
Oh my gosh.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Some of the shit they did.
So the gag was Larry was supposed to stand in a particular spot, and then basically somebody throws or knocks into an air one of those old school fountain pens. It was going to fly through the air and stick him in the forehead.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
And he pulls it. But at this point, Larry's been doing this long enough. He's looking at the rigging going, the standing point is way too close. It's going to hit me. I need to stand here.
Yeah.
And the stunt coordinator, or whatever you want to call the guy, argued with him. And the director was like, nope, you're standing here. Trust the experts. He was like, trust the expert. I'm the expert. I'm Larry Fide. So they did it the way the rigging crew designed it. And he took that's metal tip fountain pen square to the forehead. And he said it legitimately stuck in. He's bleeding like a pig, rips the pin out and starts cussing that guy up one side, down the other, as you would, looks over. Yeah, there's definitely a elementary school field trip. Come see where the movies are shot. Look, your favorite, The Three Stooges.
Oh,
and he's like, I felt so bad for the language I was using in front of those kids.
I love it.
And then they were like, did you use the final take or did you use that take? And he's like, no, we couldn't. It was just.
Yeah.
It was just blood.
Yeah.
He's like, God, no, I'm not John Moxley.
Yeah. Hot wrestling take. So, or excuse me, reference, not take. John Moxley sucks. Anywho.
And that's not a hot take.
No, that's what I just said. Not a hot take. So the police and the dogs, they are Dobermans, right?
Yeah, I think so.
They're using them like, bloodhounds, but no, one of these farmers has trained his dogs to track.
I mean, you can always kind of tell when a movie was made based on like the mean dog that they use because they have been different through different times.
Had this been 92, it probably would have been German Shepherds.
Yeah, German Shepherd.
And if this was 42, it would have legitimately been bloodhounds.
Yeah. Yep.
With their big droop ears and their hangdog face. You just want to take its face and be like, smush, 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 smush.
Big old deep barks.
Yeah.
But they get like the whole coot and caboodle out there.
Wait a minute. What
the fuck did you just say to me? It's kit and caboodle.
Okay. I was trying to use language that you guys would understand.
Please stop using slang. You're really bad at it. So anyway, Tevis, this dame's gams were down to here, you know what I mean? God. It got my doughboys in their upright and locked position. I don't know. Hit in caboodle.
Okay.
Not whatever it is you just said.
Oh. So they get everyone out there. It's going to be all the deputies, a helicopter, dogs.
John runs out of room to run, so he begins to climb down a ravine. And I went, cliffhanger?
This gave me anxiety.
Did he do his own stunts in this movie?
He did the tree fall and like cracked a rib when he hit that branch.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, this stunt was super cool. I don't think he did the actual like jump from the
No.
cliff to the tree,
Right.
but I think there was like a rig and he just dropped into the tree. So
Right.
he'd hit that branch and it would look like it. But
Yeah.
holy shit, this whole stunt was just anxiety.
Yeah.
So that's when Art, with his hunting rifle,
In a
hanging out of a
helicopter.
helicopter, begins just opening fire. Now, to his credit, the sheriff is trying to rein him in,
Yeah.
and Art just turns the radio off.
Yeah. And whoever's like driving the helicopter is like, "What are you doing?" And he's like starting to pull away, and he was like, "If you mess me up, I'm going to shoot you."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, he's kind of lost his mind a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, but they know. You'd think the pilot would just be like, "Kiss my ass, Art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Sit your
something.
donut munching ass down."
Yeah. Cuz like especially if like they've known each other
So
for years.
Rambo makes it to the bottom of the ravine. He's still being shot at, so he picks up a rock. And while Art has to reload, he hucks the rock, hits the windshield of the helicopter, causing the pilot to freak out. He wrestles control of the helicopter, causing Art to free fall to his death at the bottom of the ravine.
It's crying shame.
Deserved.
I cried.
Now Rambo has a gun.
Yes. So Rambo has a gun and he steals his jacket.
Wait, I mean, it is cold.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
I think at this point, all he had was that shitty piece of tarp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
big
had,
old piece
like,
of canvas or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah. At what point do you think this is all kind of like a PTSD episode? And at what point does he come back? Because I kind of figured that when he goes after Art, thank you. When he goes after Art, and he's taking off the jacket, he has like this moment where he was like holding his dead body, and then he like pauses, and then he
yeah.
continues to do what he's doing, and I'm like, was that
That might have been. Yeah.
something? Yeah.
Okay, how do I put this? I'm not an expert on anything. If I had to guess, I would say Rambo's mindset is more than likely a series of PTSD fueled escapades,
Mm-hmm.
intermittent with moments of what else am I going to do?
Yeah.
So it's like when he wasn't in the fire, he still was aware of like, well, I mean, shit, I got to do what I got to do.
Right.
And his training was kicking in and muscle memory and that sort of stuff. But to say his only PTSD fueled flashback was during the shaving is, I would have to think, inaccurate.
Right.
That was just the first major one.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't believe his last.
No.
Yeah, no.
It's probably the first one that when he was actually felt like his life was in danger
Yeah.
Right.
since he got back, but definitely not his first or obviously his last.
So now he is so the cops have now learned, because the fingerprints have come back. You know what though? His prints were on file. His name is John Rambo, former Green Beret. And now all the deputies are like, "Oh shit." They are a little taken back.
Mess with the wrong guy.
Yeah. But the sheriff is still like, we still got to go after him.
Yeah.
Because they think that he murdered
Art.
Art. Which,
And I think they kind of just use that too as an excuse.
yeah.
The sheriff didn't take it as far as Art, but definitely still had that, I'm the big man, this is my town,
Absolutely.
you have to
These
do
are
what I
my
say.
woods.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's when that's right. So we get the start of the initial woods encounter.
Mhm.
Oh, the bushcraft.
He creates a scarecrow,
Right.
John does, to draw everyone's attention. Now the deputy, and then they let the dogs go, and Rambo kills the dogs.
I'm glad that they didn't show that part. on screen because I was like, oh no, is he gonna kill the dogs?
He definitely had to.
He definitely did, though. Yeah.
And then we see one by one the deputies go down.
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
so cool. I love this whole scene.
The bushcraft is cool.
This-
This is
Yeah.
what makes Rambo
This has
Rambo.
been ripped off so many times. And we actually did a movie on the podcast about it.
Equalizer?
No. The Jackie Chan. What was the Jackie Chan one?
Rush
The
Hour?
Foreigner.
Oh, yeah.
Where he goes into the woods and he
I
crafts a
forgot
bunch
about
of
The
shit.
Foreigner.
But I mean, if you're gonna rip something off out of Rambo, why not the bushcraft?
It's the only thing worth ripping off.
Yeah. And they all get some sort of injured, and they're all like, "Ooh," like,
oh, yeah.
"Ugh."
They are grievous injuries that are non-fatal,
Right.
supposedly.
Hopefully.
Except for that one guy that's definitely bleeding from his throat as he's strung up against that tree. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
Just can't move.
if that guy isn't helped immediately, he's going to die.
Yeah.
And he's going to lose his voice.
What is
He's
it?
going to lose his head.
Yeah, I know.
David Caruso's character is the one that takes the branch with the spikes to the leg.
To me, that's the worst one.
Oh, absolutely.
I know
Oh
them
my
as Punjabi
gosh.
sticks.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
The sharpened stakes, which you know what?
Yeah.
Predator.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then the sheriff gets in a trap up against a tree, kind of similar, while he's on his way to help his friend. And then John jumps from somewhere and he's like,
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
yeah. And he's like, leave me alone.
about.
Let me go. Just let me go. Just let this go. And then he goes off and disappears. And then I'm like, that sheriff just crapped his pants.
There was one shot where I don't know if it might have been the sheriff, it might have been somebody else, but they're kind of making their way over this little hump, and the camera is just shot on him coming down this little embankment or whatever, and then that's when Rambo is laying there the entire time. And if you know he's there, you can see him a little bit, but he just jumps up out of that hiding spot with the bush all taped to him and stabs the guy or holds him. I don't
Goddamn
remember.
Michael Myers.
But it's so
Yeah.
good. It's
It's
so good.
so cool the way that they show him like being hidden,
Yeah.
because like you don't really see him until he moves.
And you said you haven't seen number 2.
I am
Bits and
confident
pieces.
I've seen pieces, but
And I thought it was in this one, but it wasn't. But it was in number 2. And it is by far the coolest of all of them. There's a scene where one of the soldiers is coming around this big ass hill, and it's all big mud wall or whatever. And you see the soldier, but you can kind of see the mud in the background. And then all of a sudden you just see these eyes open up.
I know exactly what I've seen that. Yeah.
Oh, it's so awesome. And I was looking forward in this, and yeah, obviously it wasn't here, but
Yeah.
I was a little sad.
So with the deputies dispatched, Rambo gets the sheriff, knife to his throat. He's like, your men are alive. They didn't have to be. I didn't have to spare any of you, but I did. Leave me alone.
Don't push it.
Don't push it.
Yeah.
I'll give you a war you won't believe.
Well, it gets pushed.
Yeah.
So this is where they make it back to a kind of a field camp
Yeah.
because the state police are involved
And the news?
and the National Guard begin to get involved.
Right.
Um,
And the news somehow caught wind of this.
well, I mean, to be fair, his little dirt bike chase through the town would have caught some news.
Right.
Then followed up with, well, whoever did that is believed to have killed a deputy. Okay.
Yeah.
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 Oh, the National Guard are moving out. Let's go see where they're going.
Yeah. Yeah. I was sitting there wondering, I was like, who dropped the ball on this? Because you would think they would want to keep it on the down low.
True, but once it's spilled out into the town,
Yeah.
it's out of there.
Yeah, they have no control.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where Colonel comes in.
Colonel Green Beret. What's Devin? What's
Devin's
happening?
looking something up.
Okay.
I just know him as the Colonel. I honestly can't remember his name.
Samuel Troutman.
That's
oh,
it.
that's right. Because
Troutman.
Sheriff says it like Troutman.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Troutman. No. Hey, Troutman. Yeah. You're right. He super does. But that's when the Colonel shows up, and I kind of really like the scenes between the Colonel and the Sheriff.
Oh yeah, they're really good.
The dialogue is snappy and it's sharp,
Yeah.
and he's like, "What I think is one of your little experiments has through a gasket or whatever," he says, and now you're here to clean up.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, no, Sheriff, I'm not here to save him from you. I'm saving you from him.
Yeah.
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 You go in there, you will all die."
Yeah. Because come to find out, John's unit was kind of a cleanup crew. What do they call it?
They got their hands dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, they went across enemy lines and
Yeah, they did. They did infiltrations,
Yeah.
assassinations. They sabotaged supply lines. They went into the shit.
yeah. So you're not just dealing with anybody.
He's not your typical soldier.
No.
Now, also, Troutman says a few things, which makes me just question his character all the more. He says a few things to Rambo and to the Colonel that I'm like, I think the Sheriff was in Nam.
Well,
I think
we'll get back to that later
okay.
because there's a scene where he goes back to his office and in the background you can see he has
medals.
3 medals.
One of them's a Purple Heart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he tells John, that John's not the only one who had a hard time over there. And,
Yeah.
they never come out and say it, but he makes
clues.
allusions.
There
Yeah.
are clues. Yeah. And didn't John also get a Purple Heart? They said he won something.
He got like the Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So they're trying to reach John on the radio because they know that John took a radio off of Art.
Yes.
Then the Colonel tries. And and he starts using the old radio call signals from when they served together. And that gets Rambo's attention.
Right.
And that's when Rambo, is like, "Colonel, I've spotted Metal Gear."
I mean,
It looks like Ocelot's Trigger Man. Colonel.
He does use some code words, but then after that, he's like, "They're all gone, sir." And that made me hurt just a little bit.
It is a crime that Sara just didn't catch anything I just said or is moving on. I hate you. That was great.
I don't know what you were referencing.
Metal Gear Solid. Do you know about Metal Gear Solid?
I've never heard of that.
Okay.
Before.
How good was my impression, Tempest?
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
That was pretty good.
I'm happy with pretty good. I can live with the Colonel. See, though, it's one of those impressions you need your trigger word to get started. Mine's Colonel. Colonel.
Okay. Yeah.
Snake. Thank you, Tempest. Thank you. Now we can move on. I'll just sit here quietly and I'll be happy. Don't mind me. I'm happy now.
Now I'm just going to see some naked man running around the...
I'm not going to be totally naked. I'll have a box.
What was that character's name?
Raiden?
Raiden. That's right. Oh, God, that was so awful.
Yeah, but he thoroughly cupped his junk the whole time.
The whole time.
It's a video game.
Okay.
Yeah. Where you get to play as a naked soldier.
No, okay. In the second one, you play a naked soldier for a little bit. Most of the time, you play that same soldier fully clothed.
Worst part of the whole game.
Worst part of the whole game was when I realized I wasn't playing Snake.
Yeah, you were just watching this guy hold his snake.
Yeah. For just a little bit,
Oh
Sarah.
my gosh.
It's not the whole game.
That doesn't make it better.
Well, he's captured, and he's in a special, stealth suit, so obviously they took that off of him, and then he got lightly tortured, well, you're going to torture a guy naked. So then when he broke out, he had to look for clothes.
Okay.
It works.
Okay.
You don't see anything except taut buttocks. But other than that,
Very pixely.
well, PS2, early PS2 era. Anyway, speaking of taut buttocks, Rambo and the Colonel talk, and yes, Rambo hits him with the line, "They're all gone, sir." And that's when the Colonel's like, "Well, not Delmar." Nope, Delmar, he died in Nam and didn't know it.
Yeah, he does say that,
That's-
doesn't he? That was
That hurt.
kind of,
Ouch.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Right in the feels.
Right in the feels.
Yeah, and Rambo refuses to surrender and tells the colonel that the sheriff's men are the one that drew first blood. And
He said the thing.
He said the
thing.
title.
He said the thing.
Right. Yeah.
This is the part.
This is. They drew first blood, sir.
Not me. Not me. Not me, sir. They drew first blood.
it's really weird when he says it in the second one, because the second one's called Rambo First Blood Part 2. So it was really awkward when
They
he
drew
said
first
that.
blood part 2.
My name is Rambo. They drew First Blood Part 2. It's like, okay, settle down.
He said the thing. So he gets tracked down thanks to his radio talk with the Colonel. And the National Guard find him in the old abandoned mine he had been staying in. And these weekend warriors blow the mine up with a
Bazooka?
bazooka.
I'm like, what? Their orders were to, again, capture him alive, weren't they?
Their orders were to do nothing.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were to sit there with him contained until the sheriff and the colonel showed
right.
up.
Yeah, they weren't supposed to do anything, and then they were like, "We're gonna blow you up."
No, they were supposed to find him and then make sure that like all the access points were guarded so he couldn't
Right.
escape.
Right.
And then they decided, kind of like Art, no, we're
We're gonna do our own thing.
We're big bad
Yeah.
guys.
We're
got
National
this.
Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do what we want.
One of the
Except let Jake join because apparently he didn't pass the psych. His medications were too unstable and he couldn't join.
I was afraid you might shoot a bazooka into a mine, apparently.
Oh.
I think they were afraid I might shoot a bazooka into the CO's office. But no, here's the thing though, it wouldn't tear up my oh god damn it, what's that thing you fill out in high school or they'll arrest you?
SATs?
Your selective service.
Yeah, you better mail that in before you turn 18.
Yeah. No, I still have selective service paperwork. They wouldn't get rid of that. But I was not mentally
Yeah, well,
Apt
if they needed
for-
to, they'll reach down to the bottom of the barrel. And
oh god, I'm gonna be put into some sort of Dirty Dozen-esque suicide team of like
Absolutely.
Oh.
put all the rejects together and then send them out in the front.
Mm.
Send the bullet sponges in.
All right.
So one of the National Guard's members,
National Guardians, I believe.
National Guardians of the Galaxy.
I have absolutely no knowledge on the subject, but I'm almost positive if you join the National Guard, you become a National Guardian.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Isn't it?
I don't
I have no idea.
I'm almost positive
I've
it's
only
National
ever heard
Guardian.
of it say like National Guard.
One of the weekend warriors,
The National Guardians.
National Guardians of Hope.
Who isn't me because my medication.
Anyway, was played by Bruce Greenwood, Christopher Pike from Star Trek.
Yep. You know what? I thought I recognized
I
him.
also-
Super young.
Yeah, he's super young.
Yeah.
He's like got a head full of hair.
His name in it is Guardsman number 5.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You know what though? Especially after this movie premiered, I was in Rambo. I was in Rambo. This is one of those movies that you're like, I was in that. And
Yeah.
people go,
Yeah.
hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
like I was in True Romance.
You watch your damn mouth.
Jab, 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 jab. I was in Waterworld. Oh, that one you're okay with.
Not really.
When your main character is such a wiener that Sara does the mocking voice. You know your main character is bad.
I was so excited. I thought Kevin Costner was in studio.
complaining about how he doesn't want to do Yellowstone anymore and that his super boring 4-part movie sucks and no one wanted to see that either. You love me. Not really. Get it, Helen. God, Gregor, what the hell are you doing?
Just pops up out of nowhere.
Oh my gosh.
I smell sex. Flies over.
Turn the plane around.
So the National Guard blow up the mine, and then we get, honestly, one of the most harrowing sequences in this whole film. John's escape from the other end of the mine.
Before this, though, is that they think that he's dead.
Yes.
And then Colonel
Sniper Wolf.
he comes over and he's like kind of surveying, but he knows that John is still alive. And
Come in,
then,
Otacon. Otacon, come in.
and then later that night, he and the sheriff kind of have a talk, and he's like, "I wanted to kill the kid," and I was like, "Well, all right." And that's when he goes back to his office, I think, and you see the 3 medals.
Yeah.
So they think he's dead for like a day.
Well, to be fair, some assholes fired a bazooka into a mine.
That's true. That's true.
But no, the sequences of Rambo like spelunking basically,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
which
Still water.
on a list of things that I will never do. Spelunk.
Cave diving.
Nope.
Yeah,
yeah,
I've
no.
seen videos of people cave diving, and I'm like,
Yeah. No.
uh-uh.
I don't even like watching those videos.
Mm-mm. Nope.
And then the rats.
Oh, the rats.
This is what really freaked me out.
Because they're real rats.
They're real rats, and
Yeah.
they're all over him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn, man. Stallone's putting in some work.
And that's the thing. You know what? I don't like Stallone. I
Mhm.
think he's a terrible actor. But one thing I can't take away from him, when he goes to work, he goes to work.
Right.
he does.
Yeah, he does. He's dedicated.
Sometimes that dedication is stupid. Like when he got hit in the chest so hard in Rocky IV, his heart enlarged.
Or when he broke his neck in the Expendables.
What?
You didn't know about that?
If I did, I forgot.
Him and
Was it Austin?
Austin, yeah, they had their little fight, and
Yeah.
he got Austin ran at him and like shoulder tackled him so hard he flew back into the wall,
Yeah.
and it broke a couple of
Jesus Christ.
things in
Oh
his
my
neck.
gosh.
Here's the thing, though. Here's what people forget about Stone Cold. Was he a college linebacker?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe not a linebacker. He played college football.
I have no idea.
Like, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
And much younger than, like, 20 years younger than Stallone. Maybe high school football. Maybe he might not have, I don't know. But played football, became a professional wrestler, like
Yeah.
someone I would not take a tackle from.
No, he played college football at University of North Texas.
Damn, I'm good.
Yep.
So yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also at a certain point, Stallone, even 10 years ago, might have been able to take that hit into the pads and been fine. But at a certain point, your body will not
Yeah,
bounce like it used to.
it's like every time I see Ric Flair do anything, I'm expecting him to like hit the mat and turn to dust.
Well, apparently in his quote unquote final match, they
Which
had
one?
No, like they had the big pay-per-view for and all that.
With Shawn Michaels?
No.
Where the
No.
AEW one?
No.
No?
It's not AEW. It was like Ric Flair's final match. Like that was the show.
Oh, okay.
No, he dead ass had a full heart attack
Oh my gosh.
and lost consciousness.
Oh my gosh.
You see him laying on the apron of the ring. Except he didn't realize he had a heart attack. So when like a couple years later, he went and was getting work done, and they were like, the doctors were like, "Hey, have you had a heart attack? And he goes, I don't think so. Why? And they're like, these black spots on your screening here, yeah, those are dead spots
Oh.
because you've had a heart attack, at least one.
Oh my gosh.
At least one.
Doesn't surprise me.
And then, yeah, while he and his doctors were talking about it, the only thing he could figure was 74-year-old man shouldn't be in a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the match where the image of him looks like he's melting, where he's
got the shirt on?
yeah, waiting to be tagged in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that picture.
Yeah, that's not AEW. That was its own.
Okay. Yeah,
Bless
I
you.
don't like that picture at all. That makes me sad. And I'm not even a Ric Flair guy either. So, but I'm just like, hang it up, man.
Don't say Hogan. Don't say you were a Hulkamaniac.
Oh, when I was younger, yeah.
That makes me sad.
But now, screw Hogan.
Well, hopefully now you're not an anything maniac. The thunder you're hearing is not thunder. It's noise from our upstairs tenant. So, oh yeah, in my notes, rat attack. He gets through the rats. Getting back to John.
Ooh.
He hijacks a truck, one of the military convoy trucks.
That's conveniently full of what?
The machine gun.
A machine gun? Yep.
Heck yeah.
And I like how he's just like, what's your name? And the guy's like, Stuart or whatever his name was.
It's time for you to go, Stuart.
And he's like, all right, here's your stop. What? He's like, get the hell out of the truck. Don't make me hurt you. Get the hell out of the truck.
He didn't even slow down or anything. He was just like, jump out.
Like, just jump out, you puss. It was like Ned, do it, pussy. In Unstoppable.
Yes. Make that jump, pussy.
He actually has to like just physically shove him out of the truck.
Yeah. So this is the second Grand Theft Auto style vehicle hijacking we get in this movie.
Heck yeah.
But now he's got the big machine gun,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes back into town looking for the sheriff. So first he
Blows up a gas station.
Well, he gets all the ammo and whatever he needs from the gun store.
Uh-huh.
He blows up the gun store. Yeah, he
Right.
blows up the gas station.
And then he takes out the
Transformers.
Yeah.
So now the town's in a blackout. He is setting the stage.
Yeah.
That's a fair way to put that, right, Tevis?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the sheriff is hiding out on the ceiling of the
On the
station?
roof.
On
Yeah.
the roof?
Yeah, he's not Spider-Man.
Okay.
He's upside down, going, haha, he'll
And
never
he's-
find me up here.
He's got the gun in one hand and hanging from the ceiling in the other.
That's right. God, I think I'm having a comic flashback of when Spider-Man stopped the Punisher once.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Punisher's first appearance.
Oh, was it in Spidey?
Yeah.
Okay. Never. I'm not going on a Spider-Man rant.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
Spider-Man sucks. So
He couldn't resist. I knew he couldn't
I
resist.
know.
it's like holding in a sneeze. I'm not very good at what the kids call edging either. This is the part where we all point at Sarah and laugh.
Why? Why did you say that? Why are you pointing at me? I'm glad the camera isn't up because that was.
Tevis is currently Googling what I just said.
Don't look it up, Tevis. It's not worth it.
Oh shit. That is not the Alec Baldwin movie. There's a movie called The Edge with Alec Baldwin and
Adam Copeland.
No, fuck that guy.
Could you two possibly have all this beef with people you don't even talk to?
Hi, have we met?
I get to watch them on TV.
And I wish I didn't have to.
Where are we?
Rambo finds the sheriff on the roof, knows he's on the roof, goes inside the police station, and then shoots the sheriff through the ceiling and the roof with the giant machine gun, wounding him.
Yeah, and he falls through the skylight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then that's when he's about to do the killing blow, and that's when the colonel comes in and talks him down. And
He's like,
Rambo
"Let me talk to
cries.
him." He doesn't just cry though.
Well, yeah, no, he has an emotional little monologue.
Yeah, he has a
Then he cries
Whole breakdown.
like a pussy.
he has a whole
So wait a minute. Why were the men of the 80s so against crying and emotion, but it was cool if Rambo cried?
because
Well,
Rambo
Rambo's been through some shit.
been
Okay.
through some stuff. Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you've been through Green Beret and Nam level of stuff, it was okay to have emotion.
Depending on who the person is watching it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I feel like there's a story there.
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna. Is this like a story of you watch Rambo with somebody and they were like, "Look at this crybaby"?
Oh no, but I know there's guys out there that are like, if that was me, I wouldn't be fucking crying.
Oh
yeah.
Like, shut up.
Whatever.
You work at McDonald's. Go away.
Well, you got to throw the McDonald's people under the bus.
No, I'm just saying.
Unstoppable.
He acts like he's so big and bad, and I'm like, no. The hardest thing you've dealt with is somebody getting pissed off because you didn't put pickles on their burger. Like, chill out.
Crack open another bush and shut up.
Exactly.
I really liked this part where he kind of breaks down.
I did too.
And has this
Yeah.
little monologue.
He was in charge of $1 million equipment. Now he can't hold a job parking cars.
Right. It's
He
very,
comes home and everyone's called him baby killer and all this vile crap.
Yeah, and he's talking about how like out there were rules and like I had your back, you had my back, but out here there are no rules. and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently in the book, Rambo is a different character. He is more of a psychotic, like cold-blooded killer.
Mm.
Oh.
So one of the things that Stallone wanted to change was that they didn't want him to be this cold-blooded killer like he was in the book. They wanted him to be the guy who was lost, kind of a victim of circumstance, and he just didn't know what to do with his life.
Honestly, that was probably a good call.
Yeah.
I agree.
For mainstream movie-going audiences, that's probably a good call.
Yeah, because I think if you had him just being that psycho killer, we wouldn't have got 2 and 3 and 4. And they wouldn't have built a franchise.
I mean,
Well, that might be a good thing.
Yeah,
but
it's hard to be empathetic to someone
Exactly.
who's purposefully killing in cold blood.
and let's face it, the best example I have in general, but also the best example for movies we've done on the show, where we have an empathetic character who is that type of person, is Silence of the Lambs. But not everyone is Hannibal Lecter, and not everyone is Anthony Hopkins portraying Hannibal Lecter.
Right.
How do I put this? If Stallone's life depended on him matching the acting ability of Anthony Hopkins, he would die.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and if that's if your character is that sort of person, you got to be oh so careful
Yeah.
as far as making the character work.
Yeah. Because like we'd still have to be kind of rooting for him,
Mm-hmm.
but no one wants to root for a psycho who kills innocent people.
Right.
So yeah, but I'm very glad that they didn't go that route.
There was another change that they had made too from the book, but I'll get there in a minute.
Okay. So with Rambo talked down, we see the sheriff is still alive. He's getting taken to the hospital. The town is in chaos, and Rambo goes, and we get the classic Sylvester Stallone movie ending ballad.
Yeah, I was like, what is this
Lock up.
song that's happening right
Lock
now?
up. My mind. First, I went to Lockup. Then I went to every Stallone movie we've ever watched. It has to end in a cheesy 80s ballad.
I just wish they'd picked a different song to end it, just because we left off with his monologue and that was really impactful. And then you get to the cheesy 80s song and it kind of ruins it a little bit.
I 100% agree.
Honestly, just let the sounds of the town and the chaos. You don't need the overlay of music. You hear the fires cracking, the sirens going,
Yeah.
the gurney wheels of the ambulance. Let the sounds of the aftermath carry the emotion.
Yeah, or play Jerry Goldsmith's score, the Rambo score.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that is.
I'd rather go just let the heat of the aftermath take effect.
Right.
But yeah, don't.
It's just
He's just a man.
yeah,
No,
and it's like he's
shut
being
up.
led away in in cuffs.
Colonel, the song blows.
Yeah, I'm like, what is happening?
Have you ever watched Gran Torino?
No, because old Clint Eastwood sucks.
The movie is really, really good.
That's what everyone tells me.
I loved it. But then at the end, the very end, where the kid is in the car and he's driving away, the music that they pick for it, it is Clint Eastwood singing.
Oh,
it's so bad. It's like, oh man, this movie was really cool. And then they hit the music and I'm like, oh.
Can Clint Eastwood even sing?
No. No.
well, it was his movie. I
And
think
it
he
was-
wrote and directed it.
Yeah, he did.
He wrote, directed,
And
starred in,
sang.
and provided the original song.
Yeah. And
You could do that when you just make the movie.
yeah, it's like you have this really great day and you're like running around in the yard, playing in the yard, having fun, barefoot, and then you step in dog shit. It's like, damn it. That's what it's like.
There you go.
All right.
So the ending in the book,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually shot this. It was part of the deleted scenes, and this is another thing that Stallone and the producers changed. Troutman was supposed to kill Rambo.
Oh.
Well, and with the knowing what we know now of the original character, I mean, how else could it end? Because Troutman
Right.
is the protagonist at that point.
Yeah, and so both the sheriff and Rambo die. The sheriff dies from a gunshot wound that Rambo gave him, but yeah, Troutman shoots Rambo in the head, and it ends. I heard an interview with Stallone where he said he didn't want it to end that way because he didn't want any Vietnam veterans who watched this movie to think that was the only way they could
Yeah.
be dealt with.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that is
He's
Yeah.
right.
that is
He's
spot
right.
on.
Especially after the monologue he gives.
Absolutely.
Like that would have ruined it.
Yeah, I think
It would
so.
have ruined it.
If the movie were true to book, that's your ending. I mean, there's no
Right.
ifs, ands, or buts. But
yeah.
but I do think the overall the call of making John Rambo this sympathetic figure, like Travis, like you were saying, victim of circumstance. He's just down on his luck. He doesn't know where to go. He's lost everyone. You feel for him, you root for him, and then in this instance, and for the reason that's still on point, you couldn't kill him
You
off.
couldn't.
That's-
No.
One more thing of trivia. Do you know who was originally cast to play Colonel Troutman?
No.
Kirk Douglas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He would have been better than Richard Crenna.
Yeah, but he had major issues wanting to change all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
And here's one of the things that I found. He goes, okay, this is what I want to do. He goes, at the very end of the movie, and he's talking to Stallone about this. At the very end of the movie, I should kill you. And then the audience sees a cop car driving away, and as it disappears into the fog, a hand reaches up to the rearview mirror. the camera turns up and we see it, and then we see me. It turns up a bit higher, and I'm wearing your headband.
Oh my gosh. That would have been so
he wanted to go.
bad.
He wanted to go full of mice and men.
Yeah.
Look at the flowers. Look at the flowers, Lenny.
Tell me about them rabbits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted to go full of mice and men within that really shitty ending, the cheesy ending of why wear the. He just wanted to wear the headband.
Exactly.
Kirk Douglas just wanted to wear
Yeah.
the headband.
And that wouldn't have matched like the
Tone.
the tone or like the presence that the Colonel has is
No.
he's very serious and kind of
Fatherly.
yeah,
Kind of
fatherly,
yeah.
throughout the whole thing. He wouldn't have
He didn't have
More in his-
jealousy for the headband. He's
Yeah.
like, God damn it, I want
Man.
that headband.
Headband envy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they gave Michael Crenna the beret, just to help prevent headband envy.
Probably. Yeah.
I don't know. No, but if we, how do I put this? I think the character of the Colonel, as portrayed by Richard Crenna, as we got him, I think if he saw no other way, like if he realized Rambo wasn't a victim of circumstance, that at some point Rambo's psyche broke and he became a monster,
Yeah, I think
he'd
would.
put Rambo down.
I actually
I think so too, yeah.
thought he was kind of gonna go in there and like assess the situation more so than I don't think he knew if he was gonna do it or not, because he was like, if I'm not able to talk him down, because that's what I felt like when he was like walking through the glass and he was like trying to talk to Rambo and he was like, look at the guys out there, you're surrounded, you're not gonna make this out alive, just
Yeah.
come with me. I was like, if Rambo had continued to insist, I think he would have done.
I think he
done
would be
something.
capable of making that decision.
Yeah.
But that wasn't his go-to.
No.
But also, if that were your ending after sympathetic victim Rambo, oh God, what a tone-deaf ending.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
that would have been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I have a question because Sarah put her notes away. Sarah, what else do you want to touch on?
Well, so during the monologue, I don't remember if it's during or after the monologue, but Rambo kind of reaches up to the Colonel as like, and it's like the first sign of like physical touch that you get in the entire movie. And I thought that was also pretty impactful because the Colonel, for a second, he's just kind of standing there. He's like unsure, but then eventually he like gives him an arm.
Yeah.
And then Rambo like grabs onto it like a lifeline. So I thought that was pretty impactful too.
Yeah, that was, especially after what we saw, the things that Rambo can do
Mm-hmm.
and how strong he really is. To see him that vulnerable, it was like, oh shit.
Well, because at that point in the monologue, he's talking about one of the other friends in the unit. Johnny or whatever his name was always talking about his car, and we were going to go cruising the Vegas Strip, and we were going
Right.
to get girls, and they had all these plans, and then the buddy definitely got his head ripped off by like a bullet or something.
Yeah.
And then he starts talking about one of his friends also like accepted a shoe shine, but the shoe shine was a bomb.
Oh, that's what it was. That's
Yeah.
what. Yeah, he's like his blood was all over
that's-
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
His
Okay.
insides kept coming out, and I can't put his insides back in. And I was like, I was literally sitting on the couch with my mouth covered. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
His friend got a shoe shine and it was a bomb. Yep, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
All right. Are we there?
We're there,
I
I
think
think.
we're there.
All right. IMDb gives First Blood a 7.7 out of 10.
It's a little low.
Seems a little low.
It seems a little low.
Rotten Tomatoes. 86%
I like that better.
for a grand total of 163.
What is legitimately what is wrong with IMDb?
I think they're a little bit more picky. A little bit more nitpicky.
I mean, they didn't like the Ninja Turtles, so they can kiss my ass. Nom, 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 nom. My entire
okay.
lily white ass.
The only Ninja Turtle movie that I saw was I don't know, it was the animation one.
Which one? You have to be
Oh,
more specific.
I know, I can't. I'm seeing it
Mutant
in
Mayhem?
my mind. I don't know if I don't think it was Mutant Mayhem. It was one that came out in one of the like 2010.
Oh, sure.
Okay. I know what you're talking
I
about.
want to say.
Yeah.
It was the one with all of the mutant monsters, or the monster. I can't remember.
Who's the bad guy?
It was a scientist or somebody who was making a army monster. I'll have to look this up because I promise I'm not making it up.
I don't think you're making it up.
It was called TMNT.
That yes.
Oh.
I forgot about that one.
Yes.
Yep. I know exactly what
Yes.
you're talking about.
I watched that, and I think it was the only movie I watched that year.
I'm sorry.
No,
Did you just watch it over and over again?
I did. I watched
Oh.
it over and over and over again. I did.
It was a little.
You need to watch the 90s
know,
live
I
actions.
do.
They're so much fun.
I do.
The one live action one.
No.
No, don't
Secret
listen
of
to
the Use is fun.
No,
Turtles in Time. Not that one.
No.
Okay.
You've gone too far.
You've gone too far.
Back up. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze.
No,
Yes.
you can skip that one.
Tevis is an old curmudgeon who doesn't like fun.
It's
Okay.
like
You specifically would probably like Secret of the Ooze more than the first one.
Okay.
okay, probably.
Know your audience, Tevis.
Yeah, but it's kind of like stepping in dog poop barefoot.
Ooh.
How often does this happen to you in your life?
I was gonna say you don't have any dogs.
That's one of the reasons why.
We learned that Tevis was not a good dog owner in a previous episode. Can I get back to Rambo, please?
Yes.
Granted, I could talk about Tevis's bad pet ownership and the Ninja Turtles all day, but I'm afraid work must intervene. So, awards. Did anyone give Rambo any awards?
I did not.
I feel like the Colonel definitely gets the Roger Murtaugh of being too old for this shit.
It's the Morpheus Award for Best Dressed.
Oh, absolutely.
Hell
he
yeah.
does. Yeah.
What other awards do we have?
Oh, I guess I lied.
No, it's really looking at our award board. That's all I got.
I would like to give out the Shelley Duvall Award for being fine, totally and completely fine, to Mitch,
I believe his name is Richard Crenna.
the red-haired
No, the Colonel.
sheriff.
Oh, you're talking about David Caruso?
Yeah, David Caruso.
Stop it. He's
He
so
was
bad.
fine.
No, he's
he was
not.
totally
No,
and completely
he
fine.
wasn't.
He did the part.
Yes, that's a period. That's a factual
He
statement.
did the part.
He did the part.
And he did fine.
No. See, now you've reached Turtles in Time. Back up. You've gone too far. Reverse. Now, the Turtles in Time video game is fantastic.
Oh, okay.
I just clicked on a picture of David Caruso. He looks like a really angry librarian.
Aren't they all?
Look at that picture of him right there.
No, he's not a librarian, but he's definitely in the library looking at porn.
It's very old womanish.
I work in a library.
Oh, well, that wasn't a shot fired or anything. I didn't.
No, it definitely was though.
I didn't mean that.
No, see, he didn't fire shots at you. You just inadvertently took some strays. You caught some strays. You were in the crossfire.
Should I start being angry now?
Too busy getting a shoe
You
shine.
complain about your job all the time. I'm convinced you are, in fact, angry. You're always just like, these damn kids and my stupid boss.
I
and-
don't complain about my student employees because they're fine. But
Totally fine. Shelley Duvall levels of fine.
no, they do a good job. They do good work. But
Richard Crenna levels of good work.
and I feel like everyone complains about their boss.
It's true.
So
Except when I was their boss.
okay,
There were no complaints in my office.
because you threatened them.
Actually, yeah, I did threaten people all the time. So, I'll open the floor to you guys. Best part or favorite part?
Gosh, I have a couple,
Narrow it down.
but it's got to be that
Narrow.
the bushcraft stuff. That's definitely got to be my favorite.
I think my favorite part is the monologue.
There you go.
How about you? Don't hurt yourself. Are you pooping or?
Yeah, I was gonna say you look like you're constipated right now.
My bathroom troubles are my own business. Thank you. No, it just hurts to compliment Stallone. It's got to be. I'm with Tevis. I think it's got to be. Granted, I love the monologue.
Yeah.
But the bushcraft stuff, I would more willingly rewatch.
Right. Yeah. It was cool, but I think that would be my second favorite part and the first favorite part.
Worst part?
Worst part.
I just have it here. Anything with David Caruso.
I have the overly dramatic piano. There were moments where I'm like, God, settle down, piano man.
Randy Newman's getting
Damn.
Worst part would have to be like the beginning music and the end music.
the bookend songs.
Yeah, it's like why this is like a pretty serious movie.
Yeah,
but
definitely that ending song.
It's like the cheesiest songs that you sandwiched with like a serious. It's wrong. It doesn't belong.
Are you intentionally rhyming?
No, I was not intentionally rhyming.
Okay. Are you having a stroke?
I didn't even know I was rhyming until you said something.
She's a poet but didn't know it. But her feet show it because they're Longfellows.
What?
What?
My feet aren't long.
Read a goddamn book.
I don't read poetry.
There's your first problem.
You like poetry?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know this about you.
I didn't either. I'm learning all kinds of shit.
I'm a well-rounded individual.
What kind of poetry do you like?
Well, I like the basic picks like Frost and those
Yeah.
sorts of things. But now I've forgotten the name and I'd have to look it up because I have several saved on my phone, bookmarked. But there was a Chinese poet who frequently wrote about his poems revolve around making it to this special mountain.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, the mountain doesn't exist. It's all a metaphor for like self-improvement.
Oh.
And the poems are really cool, and they help me, get back on track sometimes when my brain is going on its own tangents. It helps me focus.
That's cool.
But yes, I've read books. Sometimes they have poetry in them.
I didn't know.
I am not an animal.
I didn't know you sought out poetry.
Sometimes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but see, I'm not the poetry douche who's like, oh, look at what I'm reading. Scum.
This line means this, and this stanza means that.
See, the curtains are blue because...
My favorite poetry is Dr. Seuss.
One fish, two fish.
Longfellow is a poet.
Blue fish. Yeah. Okay.
Is he tall?
Does he have big feet?
I don't believe
you know
he
what
was...
they say about big feet, right?
You're a big huge
cock. Knee knocker. Mrs. Longfellow was always satisfied and smiling. And the recipient of our John Hamm Award for Excellence in Penis.
Jesus.
Sorry. Excuse me.
That was a force snorter.
God, I feel so attacked.
What?
You read you?
I didn't say it like
Yes,
that.
I occasionally read poetry. Yes, I have read and enjoyed Flowers for Algernon. Yes, I like a multitude of things.
I didn't say.
Sometimes I
would
enjoy
not.
a musical. Sometimes I want a good cry and I watch Steel Magnolias.
Ooh.
I mean, ooh.
God,
I
don't
mean,
talk
that's
about
a
Steel
heartbreak.
Magnolias.
Like
I
heartbreak.
just said sometimes I like to cry, so I watch Steel Magnolias.
I just didn't know you sought out poetry.
Sometimes I'm in a mood for a
Okay.
little poetry.
I think that's great. I'm just.
I don't believe you.
I'm just learning more about you.
I am what they call a Renaissance man. I like
Okay,
lots of things.
When you took a poetry class,
I
you
did
wrote-
take poetry
I know.
class.
I said when you took a poetry class, all of your assignments were ending with.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
So I like to when I had to write my own poems for the class, I like the haiku style, though I frequently did not write about nature, which is what haikus are about. I just like the haiku style. It's like a word puzzle to make your syllables fit, and that's fun to me. And then I learned that I could always make my last sentence, that is what she said. And it works for the haiku. And you know what? My professor loved those. He
know.
called them my magnum opus.
I love Tom Selleck.
Wait, what's Tom Selleck have to do with?
He was talking about Magnum PI.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! We are so
And I'm the one being attacked.
far.
I'm gonna go
off
home and cry.
track, Right? You're gonna go home and watch Steel Magnolias. Sorry.
Maybe it'll be fried green tomatoes.
You cried at fried green tomatoes?
No.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Wait. I might be thinking, I don't know if people cry during fried green. I don't know if I've actually seen it. All right. So, what is a prop from this movie that you guys would like to see in studio? This movie being First Blood and not
His knife.
let's just murder Jake and make him feel like a piece of shit for having a varied interest.
I think it's wonderful.
See, I don't believe you too. What do you want in the studio?
I said the knife.
Tevis did
His
say the
knife.
knife.
The knife.
I'm surprised you didn't go headband.
No, Kirk Douglas has that. I don't want it. You gotta have the knife because the top you can take the top off and there's all kinds of stuff inside there.
Yeah, a
and,
straw so
yeah.
Charlie Sheen could drink his soda.
His jacket that he was wearing at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, that's a good
That's
one.
a good one.
That is a good
See,
one.
I'm more along the lines of Sarah. The knife is the easy pick. The headband is the easy pick.
Mhm.
I didn't think jacket. I do like that though.
Yeah.
I want the folded up picture of his unit.
Oh,
The one he gives Ms. Delmar.
Yeah, because we don't actually see it, do we?
Not in any kind of clarity that matters.
Yeah.
That's a good one too.
But like
That's a good
young Rambo and his Nom team and like that
Yeah.
would be sweet.
Yeah. That would be good.
Okay. So Tevis. Or
Yes.
the book of poetry that was on the sheriff's desk.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he had a bunch of dirty haikus.
I'm not judging. But actually, if they were dirty, they may have been mine.
Are there police brutality poems?
There's probably poems.
he- if
of-
there-
Actually, yeah.
If there are, he probably had a book of those.
Yeah, there's a whole subgenre of poetry about okay, you know how like in rock and roll there's protest rock?
Yeah.
There's protest poetry.
Oh,
Mhm.
And actually a lot of the best poetry is protest.
poetry. Yeah.
did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Read a god.
I'm not reading poetry.
So, Tevis, final thoughts. First Blood.
It's been probably 15 years since I've watched this. Actually, probably longer than that. When I watched this as a kid, I loved the action. I love Stallone doing his thing. But rewatching it now, you see something completely different. And I never really, as a kid, never really paid that much attention to the Rambo character as far as what he went through and in his past and what he was going through with the sheriff. But man, rewatching it now, it hits me totally different.
Mm.
Like, this movie is fucking awesome. Just from a, not even an action standpoint, just from a storytelling standpoint of this guy who served his country comes back and is being treated like complete shit by people in authority. And to know that that is not such a far-fetched story, it kind of hits you a little different. But no, this movie's great, man. The action is good, the acting is good,
Soundtrack.
the soundtrack is fucking slamming.
It slaps.
The piano, hot fire. David Caruso, for the love of God, that angry librarian.
No, again, he looks more like the pervert using the library
Why-
and getting on
why-
adult sites.
He goes into that back section of the library where Ross's book is and has sex.
No one's having sex with modern day David Caruso. We looked at the same picture, right?
Yeah. But man, no, this movie is really, really good. I definitely worth the ticket price. I highly recommend it. And I was a little worried because it was a little older movie, and I was like, man, I don't know if it's going to hold up as well. No, I was wrong. It's fantastic. Check it out.
So for me, like you, I hadn't seen this movie in decades. But I would definitely say for sure this is my first and only watch of it as an adult.
Yeah.
And, I was like, I know I've seen this movie and I kind of remember this and that. Pre-watching it, if you had asked me to give you the synopsis, I would have been like a B. I would have scored a B on a synopsis. And the teacher would have been like, yeah, more or less, right? I not even forgot. I didn't realize / probably didn't understand the depth of the social commentary that this movie has.
Yeah.
And that's really the standout. We could talk about the action and the bushcraft and the cool moments, but what makes this movie special, what makes it resonate, what makes it stand apart is that commentary throughout, that emotional through line. You feel for John in a world that despises him for things he has no control over. He's this outcast for serving his country.
Yeah, for doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
He's despised for
walking.
following orders.
Yeah.
In an inconceivable situation that those of us, we weren't there, we couldn't even try to comprehend what he and his unit and the other soldiers went through. And it's I really understand why First Blood, not the franchise, First Blood is on the pedestal it's on.
Yeah.
And why people speak about it with a certain reverence.
Yeah.
And I do believe that's deserved. Is this movie a 98%? No. But if you're like me and you're going into it going, oh, a Stallone action movie, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Hopefully. Excuse me. Unless you're just, that guy. But if you're that guy, just watch whatever The Rock put out recently or Jason Statham and shut up. Don't watch Rambo. If you're that guy, just shut up and move on. So, is this Stallone movie worth the ticket price? I think for the first time, yes. Even I cannot deny the quality that is Rambo.
Did you mean to rhyme there?
No, but I have head injuries. I don't know what Sarah's problem is.
I have many.
Oh, are we? Oh,
No, I'm kidding.
oh. Are we about to compare?
No.
What do the kids call that? We're gonna.
What do you mean?
When two people try to outdo each other in
no.
personal.
I know you're gonna surpass.
So when
my
I was a
experiences.
boy, I didn't have a bedroom because my older brother took it over. So for years, I slept on the couch in the living room of our single wide trailer.
Are we going to have a
Can I-
Hooper Quint moment?
Well, I'm not going to start getting undressed and showing you my scar. I'm just showing you my emotional scars.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
The best kind.
The stories are way more fun. So no, even I cannot argue Rambo. Very, very good movie. 86, I can live in that
Yeah.
that ballpark.
yeah.
The 70.
7, no.
77?
No.
Yeah, too low.
That
No.
was
Too low.
that was low.
So, Tevs, I don't know if you know this, but this episode is Sara and
I
Sly.
heard that somewhere.
And no one cares what we think. We want to know what the titular Sara thinks.
Yes. So, I went into this movie expecting usual Sylvester Stallone kind of action movie with maybe a lot of blood because it's first blood, you know. And so I was expecting something else and I got something completely different. And this is definitely worth the ticket price.
Hell yeah.
I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, but I can't. The acting is awesome. The bushwhack scene alone, like the costumes are so impressive.
Bushcraft.
Bushcraft.
Not
Bushwhackers.
not bushwhack.
Oh, God. Sorry. As soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, flashbacks.
Sorry.
I'm having wrestling
Sorry.
PTSD from the Bushwhackers. I hated those guys.
Oh.
Terrible. Anyway,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Sorry. But yeah, overly impressed with the acting, the costuming, the makeup, the everything was so good. So yes, this movie is 100% worth the ticket price. If you haven't seen it, please go see it. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie.
There wasn't a whole lot of blood.
No, there actually
Either.
wasn't. And I think they just had just enough violence because you don't ever get a full scene of him being tortured. It's always snippets.
Yeah.
So I think that helps because the main focus is that this is a war vet who's going through PTSD. So
Yeah.
I think they really focused in on that aspect rather than a different aspect that they could have gone with.
Yeah, and I think if they focused on like the gore of the bushwhack scenes, then it wouldn't have played as well. It would have
bushwhack.
we wouldn't have been as sympathetic towards Rambo, I think.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So, next two questions. We have a 0 to 10 scale. No, actually, I believe it's a -1 to 10 scale now.
Wait, I don't remember. What was -1?
Was it Oscar?
Lockup, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was right.
Because
It was
Oscar
Lockup.
was a 0.
No, Oscar's a 1.
Oh, okay.
Lockup is a 0.
Lockup
so
is
it's
a
now
0.
0
It's a
to 10.
0 to 10
Yes.
scale. You've given movies such as Rocky and Rocky 2 a perfect 10 on the Sylvester Stallone scale,
Yes.
while movies like Oscar got a 1 and Lockup got a 0. And there are other movies in the mix. I can't see the board right now, so I don't know what's what. But it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
We got our highs, we got our lows. Where do you put Rambo? Or I'm sorry, First Blood. See, you just call it Rambo because that's what the franchise is. Where do you put First Blood?
I would say this movie is a 9.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd say it's a 9.
Okay.
It's definitely better than Tango and Cash.
Didn't you give that like a
I
7?
got it 7, so it's 2 points better than Tango and Cash.
Mm-hmm.
Not as good as Rocky.
Rocky is always going to be a 10 for me.
Yeah, but you're letting nostalgia cloud your judgment.
Always going to be a 10.
Wait till we get to 5. Wait till we get to Rocky 5. That'll change.
Tommy, the machine gun. Goo! Goo! They have a parking lot street fight that involves light breakdancing.
That's interesting. That is something that they chose.
It's weird watching Paulie do the breakdance.
You'd think a man of his age and size couldn't do it, and you'd be wrong.
I didn't know he could spin on his head like that.
So, now the question is, where do you rate Stallone's performance on essentially the same scale?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But Stallone's performance of John Rambo.
Stallone was fantastic in this movie.
Well, let's not get carried away.
He was fantastic.
He's never been fantastic, but
I believe this is her time.
I wish the camera was set up for that.
hey, keyboard monkey. Just make sure the equipment works. Thank you.
What's this button do?
Unplugs Jake's mic. Keyboard monkey, this asshole.
But I don't know. I think he was a 10 in this one.
Wow.
I think he did a really, really good job of expressing emotion and general acting. I don't know.
He gets a 10 for me for letting those rats crawl all over
Yeah,
him
he's dedicated to this role.
Yeah.
in that shit water
And
that he was slugging through.
Worked
That was
hard.
manufactured shit water.
I don't think it was.
I think he would have done it if it wasn't.
Well, I don't think we understood gray water quite like we do now. You know, okay, we were talking about things I'll never do. Urban exploring.
I know.
Not a chance. It's like when you see the still water, and I'm like,
And people just like throw stuff in it.
I'm like, don't just because it's
don't
like,
disturb
oh,
the water.
you've got like Hep C now or some shit. Like,
No.
isn't that the big word? Like,
Yeah.
oh no, you're gonna be super sick now.
I've seen people, go into like abandoned malls and stuff, and it's like been flooded, and it's like, what are you doing in there? There's a reason why you're not supposed to be there.
Just, what's the plan here, guys?
Yeah, and they don't wear masks or anything.
No.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
You know those people have encountered ghosts and shit, right? Cryptids and
All kinds of weird things.
the literal people the hills have eyes are based on have been found while urban exploring.
Yeah, I don't like watching that shit.
No.
Gives me anxiety.
Although I do really enjoy the ones where it's like, ooh, proof of the paranormal or whatever. And you're watching it and you're just like, it's clearly some goof's friend in a shitty costume.
Right.
It's like, boo.
Yeah.
Or it's like a shadow, or like,
Whoa.
yeah. I can't remember. I was watching some like ghost documentary channel or whatever.
I'm glad Jason wasn't here to see your
Sorry.
air quote
Air
hands.
quotes.
He would have been very
Upset.
yes.
Yeah. I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
There it is. Tevis hates that joke. Oh.
But anyway, they were saying that this house was haunted, and it looked like a regular middle class house. And
They always do.
and they were like, the sliding glass door opens by itself, and then they do, like they show it a couple of times where it's like opening and closing. Oh, you can definitely tell that someone was in like a green screen costume because like the film like have like a ripple effect.
Oh yeah,
and
there's-
it's like
where it's registering movement.
yeah, where it's registering. I'm like, come on.
You know what? They're trying something though.
Yeah. You see the string.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the string being pulled.
Oh god.
Abbott and Costello style.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very funny. I like that.
yeah.
Nice. All right, everyone. I think we're there. I mean, we could sit here and BS all night, but Tevis and I have an early morning of additional recording to do.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop, whoop. What? Okay.
Aren't you guys super excited to record early tomorrow?
Those episodes do tend to get a little goofy.
A little bit, yeah.
Listen closely, you might hear me choke to death on a donut. You know, really just. Now, here's the thing.
That's my favorite
They
part.
say you can't eat on camera, but I see a lot of people eating on camera these days. I think we're past that stupid rule. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who made that rule up?
some
It's more
old white people, is my guess.
personable this way.
I'm just aggressively eating a Long John.
Just deep throat it.
Oh my god.
If you eat a Long John in one bite, I'm canceling the show.
Is that a promise?
I'm just gonna look at the camera and go, nope, and get
Nope.
up.
Click.
Because he'd have to edit your entire face to pixelate it
Pixelated
completely.
because it'd be too
graphic.
Too graphic.
Yeah, YouTube would flag us.
Too sexually intense. All right, everyone. My donut eating aside, I'm Jake. That's Tevis. Special guest Sara. Sara, welcome. Always glad to have you. This has been Sara and Sly, episode 8, First Blood. Whew. Collectively, we are Ticket Price. Thank you all so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed. Tune in. If you aren't already, make sure you're following the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our regular episodes or bonus content like this. We do have Patreon, $3 a month. We do have a merch store, so you can get all kinds of fun Ticket Price merch and more designs coming. We still got a lot of stuff in the works that are always fun.
Zing.
No. Nope. You don't get catchphrase. And as always, the most important thing is please, please, please be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and good night. See, that's all Rambo needed was someone, he just needed to hear those words every week
So supportive.
and at the end of an entertaining show that he could chuckle.